Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be trying on some full cover tips real quick with Builder Gel, and we are going to be checking out the Jelly Nude gel from Born Pretty. That is a really pretty gel, and we are going to do the easiest nail art. We are doing water decals. I'm going to start by pushing my cuticles back gently, and my nails really needed doing now. They're kind of a bit scruffy looking. I'm trying to expose as much as I can of the nail plate. I'm going to use a ball bit to kind of get rid of all the dead skin and give me a really clean cuticle. I'm working on dominant today, so I've just got to take my time. I'm running my e-file at a low speed. Prep is, as always, super important. Now the surface of the nail needs to be matted gently down. Just an ordinary 100/180 file today. Alternatively, you can use a e-file with a medium sanding band. This is my non-dominant hand, so I'm just clumsing away. I'm going to try and get into the side walls and around the cuticles. When I'm happy with that, I'm going to remove the dust. I use 2 coats of primer because my nails can be a bit oily, but that's optional. But at least do one thin coat that you let dry. You want these nails to stick on. I'm going to do this on all 5 nails before I go in with a base coat. We are doing gel today, and I always use base coat because otherwise the product can lift off. I am just going to try and do a thin coat here so I don't bulk it up too much. Just kind of push it gently towards the cuticle and then angle the brush down the side walls. Now you'll see me use a second coat of base here. That is not a regular base, that's just one of these peel off ones that I'll be putting on top. And that is so that I can just change my nails quickly afterwards. I will be linking all the products down below in the description box. I'm just going to finish all the nails off and I'm going to give them a full cure. And then we are going to go in with the full cover tips. These are the ones from Beetles. Where I'm going to use Builder Gel, I am going to go up one size. We're going to fill the full cover tip. Here we can kind of lay it on a little bit more. Make sure, however, when you size them up that they fit from sidewall to sidewall. And if necessary, you can kind of neaten the cuticle up a little bit so they fit. This is a Saviland Builder Gel. It's actually got glitter in it, but the particles have sunk to the bottom. And I have decided not to stir it up just because I want it like a nice translucent pink. I've put it on a tip stand just to make it a bit easier for myself upside down. And the very first thing I do is put a thin layer on the entire nail. But the trick here is to keep the product thin at the cuticle and fill in the arch instead. I am just going to lay this carefully down on my nail. I am not going to push it or force it down. And if you size the tip correctly, it will fit well. I'll put that in the lamp and cure it before I move on to the next one. Now I absolutely love these for doing quick and easy nails, especially on my non-dominant hand. Usually my left hand looks nice and my right hand looks rubbish. I never really have any motivation to do anything with that. It's probably about a 4-day job to actually finish that hand off, so this is super easy. These are also great for beginners because they're pre-shaped and they are really affordable as well. Now I scoop out a small amount on one side of the brush only. When I fill in the nail, I just kind of gently go down with like a sweeping motion. There's no need to bounce the product up and down real hard. Polygel and acrylic takes a little bit more pressure, but gel floats on its own. If you're too heavy-handed, all you're going to end up doing is putting bubbles in it. I've flash cured all the nails in between. I'm going to get all of them on. Try to make them not look too crooked. Not doing a very good job, by the way. And when they're all done, I am going to give them a full cure. I would recommend using one of those little finger lamps so that you can hold it down. But when you use Builder Gel, you can get away with using a regular lamp. After curing, these will be sticky underneath as well. So get a lint-free wipe with some alcohol and clean them off properly. When you're finished with them, that you also put a thin coat or top coat underneath because that will keep them nice and clean and shiny. And of course, the best part of all is that there is no work afterwards. All I'm going to do is just grab my 100/180 and just kind of refine the sides. I'm going to sharpen the very edge off. That's just if there's any like little bits of gel that's spilled out. I've got one that's a bit crooked but still not too bad. One thing I am going to do though is I'm going to get my needle bit out of my e-file. There is some product that's seeped out underneath where I've been messing and pushing and God knows what with it. Not an issue, but because it's under there and I know it's there, I'm going to pick at it. I also use the needle bit just to blend the cuticles in because that makes them look really flush and nice. Please be careful though that you don't dig it under the nail. these bits can be a little tiny bit sharp. And also if you've got any hypernicum under there, you don't want to go and hurt yourself or anybody else. I'm going to go in with my medium sanding band to finish it off and whip over the nail. Just want it to adhere, so just to make sure, I'm just going to etch the surface. It can also be a very good idea to etch the inside of the tips before you apply them. I wear mine for about 3 weeks if I do them properly, but you have to have a good prep. Make sure you clean your nails and get all that dust off, give them a good scrub. I am going to be using one thin coat of base coat on all the nails. All this is just a layer so that it adheres a bit and it kind of glides better. For nails today, we are going to be using Born Prettys Jelly Nude Gel. I did a review and unboxing on their products not long ago, so that is linked below if you're interested. This is such a pretty colour and it's kind of like a semi-transparent, but that depends on how many coats you put on. If you choose to layer it on a little bit more, you will get more of an opaque colour, because I am going for a more opaque look. This is a very nice, easy product to work with. It does give quite good coverage on the first coat. I mean, they are really pretty as they are now, and I could have worn them like that, but this wasn't what I was going for today. We are not only doing Lazygirl nails today, we are also doing lazy nail art, because we are going to be using decals or decals. These have got a plastic paper on the front, so peel that off first. Cut out the decal that you want to use, don't try and put it on with a whole sheet, and see if you can trim close around it. And I've put a lint-free wipe in like a little tray, which I've dunked in water. And the decals need to be soaked in order to slide off. You can also use a jelly stamper to do this, but I'm just going to do it with the tweezers. I've got these silicone nail art tools. These are absolute godsend because they really help smooth it out, because we don't want any moisture or bubbles underneath, because we really don't want this lifting up. This is why I prefer these to regular nail stickers, because they're thinner, they don't bulk, and usually they lay better on the nail. Where it's soaking wet, I often just kind of dab it off. The backing paper will go like dark and you can see it's saturated. There shouldn't really be any resistance in that decal if it's ready. It's just kind of moving. When we put that on the nail and just kind of slide it gently off, you can see it came off really well. With the silicone tool, I'm just going to smooth it out really carefully. You don't have to rub like really hard, but it's just to kind of make sure that it's really stuck down. Now for me, not putting any extra product on this would be a concern. You don't need any thick builder gels or builders in a bottle. Some people use 2 top coats. What I like to do is, when I'm finished pushing it down, I usually have it ready, is to get my gel brush with a little bit of base coat, because that's really sticky and I'll kind of tack on both sides. I'll take my gel brush and I'll kind of take a small amount and almost scrub it in. Really make sure that the decal's pushed well down. I'll flash cure it if I'm working on other nails. If I'm not working on other nails, I'll just roll the whole thing in for the whole time. This is just a precaution. I would definitely recommend that you did it. Can use 2 coats top coats. I prefer an extra base coat. Now, for once I've actually planned this design a little bit, I'm just going to continue in the same way as I did the first one. And if there should be any little bits poking out on the side, I do snip them away. I'm going to finish these nails that I want the decals on. Now, I can be a bit clumsy, or suddenly I might have to get up and do something while I'm filming. So I decided to put some top coat on the ones with the decals, just to make sure that they were sealed in, because it's really annoying to go and catch it and have to redo them. So like I said, thin coat on them, cure them, and then I'll move on to the next ones. They're not perfect, but despite being the non-dominant hand, I think they were quite passable. So on the ones without the decals, I'm going to put some gems. So I got these little boxes off of Amazon, and these are absolutely super cute, and I'm going to try and keep the butterfly theme from the decals. So I am just going to pick out a few, some gold, some silver. And I've got like a thing for chains at the moment, so we have to use a chain. And we are going to be using Born Prettys glue. I've tried to measure this one out. It can be a little bit daunting to glue the whole thing down at once. So what I do is I just start either at the top or the bottom, just a tiny bit to hold it, before I lift it up like you can see, and apply a little tiny bit more. And I flash cure that in between, by the way, because otherwise it will keep moving. Even if you mat the surface, it kind of slips and slides, which is annoying. I don't want to get any glue on top of the gems, because that will mat them. And always, when I've done a piece like this, I always give it a full cure, just to make sure it doesn't go anywhere. And for the record, I really appreciate their precision applicator. However, if you've got really big gems, I think I'd park them in either builder gel or acrygel or acrylic, just to be sure. Now, before I started on these butterflies, I laid them on my desk and kind of just flattened them a little bit with a pair of tweezers. Because these are open, I didn't want to go and put the glue on the nail directly. Oh, I put down a coat of matte top coat, by the way. I don't know if you can see that. I'm just putting it on the actual piece itself. And again, trying clumsily to kind of put them where I want them. And then immediately flash curing to make them set. So I'm not using like loads and loads of glue, just enough. And this one has got a thinner consistency. I'm just working my way along. So for small to like medium plus embellishments and gems, this glue is absolutely perfect. I really, really like it. I've decided to put another chain down on my middle finger. I'm going to apply that in the exact same way as I did the first one. If you need to trim the length, I would suggest that you use a pair of old cuticle nippers. Cuticle nippers will cut through it, because sometimes scissors can be a bit too blunt, or you can, worst case, destroy them. And last but not least, we're going to do the ordinary gems. And we're going to do them like we always do. Pick up with a wax pencil and then use the gem glue to attach them. I did end up putting quite a lot on these nails. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to finish off and then put some top coat on them. And we're going to have a look at the final result. I like them both with the decals and also on their own. So you can wear them several ways. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Please like and subscribe and hit that bell so you don't miss anything. And until next time, bye.